Welcome back to All the Crackers in the Box. Hi, it's me, your friend Corey, starting another project. What do you think? What do you think of this? Nice? I love the colors. Let's chat. Okay, so summer's coming. It's getting warm. I want a hat. I really want a summer hat. So I've decided I'm going to make myself a nice little granny square bucket hat. And I have two of these, but right now I can only seem to find one. So I'm going to work on granny squares while I try to figure out mentally where it might have ended up. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need 5 granny squares at 5.5 inches. This is by my math, just looking at a couple different tutorials, being that there's about 4 or 5 out there. The only thing I'm really going to be needing the tutorials for more than anything is the brim. Now I think with the brim, it's probably just going to end up being pretty simple. It's probably some increases here and there, but it'll make sense. I'll figure it out. There's quite a few bucket hat tutorials on YouTube that are put on super cute stuff. I think Bayday's got 3. She's even got one that would actually match my poncho, which I was kind of like, maybe. So now I'm wondering if I have a little bit, maybe enough left, maybe I will do a matching hat to go with my poncho, which would be so darn cute. So then I have a couple hats to work with because I am at a point where I don't think I really want to wear baseball caps anymore. I've had them for quite a few years. And the bucket hat I do have, one, it is a promotional hat from a rum company, so there's lots of rum on it. I'm not crazy about it. And you turn it inside out and it's bright blue. Fantastic. I love blue. Problem is it's like a nylon. It is not a summer hat. It definitely is a sweaty hat, and I don't want a sweaty hat. I want something that I can not worry about if I go to the water park with the kids. Get my hat a little tiny bit wet. It's not going to dissolve like my fun hat that turned out to be made by paper and was never intended to get wet. I didn't realize that till after it got wet and got misshapen. And regrets. So watch that when you're buying summer hats. If you're out there buying summer hats, make sure they're not made out of paper, because it will say it on the label. But I didn't know at the time, so I didn't check. And that is the beginning of my granny square. See, I'm not doing any spaces in between. Not doing the chaining. I didn't outline this because I think I'm going to do white, or maybe I might pull out the yellow. I have some really random colors left in this thicker cotton, which I think is great. I might make one for one of my daughters as well. Maybe both. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go with 3 instead of 4. Because I found on this one I had to go back because I did 4 on one and it just ended up puffing out too much. So keep in mind, I'm winging it. I'm winging this. I'm just making this as I go along. Because granny squares are pretty much, once you get the basic idea, it's kind of left up to you to decide your preference. I personally, I don't like the chaining in between. And these are just basic. I'm not doing anything fancy because quite often I usually end up going for the fancy. And I thought about doing like the daisy one, because oh my gosh, that'd be so cute. But I think I'll wait till I get some more cottons. Then maybe I'll make some daisy ones. Or other flowers, whatever. Starburst, sunflowers. Lots of really cute options out there. But I just want a basic run-of-the-mill hat. Because the sun's already starting to come out quite a bit. Well, today was pretty rainy. How about that eclipse, eh? I spent most of the eclipse day watching it on TV. We were way out of the line of totality, they were calling it, where it goes all black. But I watched it go black all over the place because we were watching it on TV, which was great because it was super cloudy. Nobody could see anything. Even my kid, my daughter, at her school, ended up just watching it on YouTube, which is better for her eyes. I was very concerned that a few people might decide to look up. Even from where we were, we would have been the very outer limits of it. Still could have damaged eyes. Oh, my girl, she loves to rebel and just do whatever she really wants to do. And tell her don't do it, she'll do it. A little looser than I'd like. So this is cotton I got last July from our local Dollarama. I don't know if they have any more at the moment. I'll get someone to check for me. I like the thickness of this and the colors. Oh, these are definitely my colors. I really like the blues to the indigo-y blue, which is a color you don't find very often. I find it's a little tricky to find, and I like how it mixes with this blue added with these brighter, lighter swatches. So what I did was I measured my head, the circumference, and I divided it by 4 because I'm doing 4 granny squares. So if you're looking to make something like this for the sizing your own head, that's what I would recommend doing. So you would measure it. I gave like an extra ½ inch, but I don't want it to be like crazy tight. It'll probably get loose, like my snood did. And yes, I do actually still wear my snood often. Especially at night, I like to put it over my hair, and then my hair is in such a tangly mess in the morning. And it's softened right up. It's really nice now. So I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows to get that 5.5, which I have measured. And then I'm going to end up doing 4 around and then 1 on the top, and then we do the brim. So that is the least complex way that I found. Like a lot of people did rounds, they did this, they did that. And what got me thinking about it was Cinnamon Stitches has been doing a bunch, and they were all granny stitch. And I looked at that pattern. It's cute, but I kind of been eyeballing this one longer. So I may still try the granny stitch one at some point, but this is definitely one that's been on my to-do list for quite some time. I'd say almost 2 years now. But it is the season for it, so I thought, yeah, why don't you just pull out this nice blue, because you have these 2 blues, and I didn't want to use them as dishcloths because I really like the colors. I knew this would be something I'd want to wear. I actually have a phone bag that is a little darker than this that my mom made for me. But I like to put my phone in for days I go out for walks or whatever, and I don't have pockets. Because we all know as ladies, most of our clothes do not have pockets. Kind of an issue, right? And yes, I know why they don't do pockets. The pockets are not there because we need to be aesthetically pleasing the smooth lines. I personally would rather have things in my pockets, thanks. Even when I actually cared more about my personal image. Because I mean, I make YouTube videos without my makeup on and in my pajamas sometimes. And I'm okay with that. I know what I look like. I've seen. Well, that's okay. I actually had to re-pierce my nose the other day. I've had a nose ring in my nose for over 20 years now. I have so much nose jewelry. I can change them twice, 3 times a day and still have lots left because it's always good to have them. They're so tiny. And yeah, I stopped wearing them for part of the winter because of all the sinus infections I've gotten this year. And all the blowing of my nose. When my nose is runny, the nose ring can sometimes poke into the other side and cause nosebleeds, and I didn't want to do that because that would make me even more uncomfortable. But now the sinus infection is in one sinus, not both. So I decided to try to put a nose ring in because I miss the sparkle. Because I can see my sparkle. And yeah, I went to put it in and my nose decided that it was going to close over, which was crazy. It shouldn't close over. It took a little bit of sneezing after because that's how it usually goes. But both my ears and my nose just seem to want to keep on healing over. And I've had my piercings for a very long time. It's super weird. I've never really heard of anyone having that. If anyone has had that before, it's crazy. Like, I'm not even talking like years of not wearing them. That makes sense. I'm talking like a couple weeks, a month. For older piercings, that should not happen. Right? Because they've already healed? I don't know. Maybe I'm getting superpowers that I'm not aware of. They're kind of cool, but kind of not. I'm a little old. 3. And we've come back around. So now we've done 1, 2, 3 rounds. I'm going to have to search through my yarn bags tomorrow. I just got them all moved in the right spot where I wanted them. Somewhere in one of them, this other ball like this will show up. I should have just enough to make this hat. I'm hoping to be able to do the brim with it, but I might have some white I can throw in at the end if I need to. I'll figure it out, I always do. Right? Because part of crafting is just, creative thinking, which I love. I am normally a very analytical thinker, so I'm always looking for the evidence. Show me the evidence. Yeah, nice granny square. I've been sitting here watching some shows. I thought my sinuses were doing fine, and then today I got a big flare up, and it's been, well, no, it started yesterday, to be honest, and it's gone overnight, and it's keeping me up tonight too. So I thought, you know what, let's just do some granny squares, keep your hands busy instead of non-stop thinking about the throbbing, swelling pain. And I seem to be super, super thirsty. So, drinking lots of water. Just plain water, no flavors, no nothing, just water. My beautiful, really old water jug that I keep with me in my room. Basically, anywhere I go in the house, I take it with me. You never know when you're going to need a drink. I thought about a cup of tea, but not really in the mood for it right now. Waiting for it, and by the time I remember that it's there and I let it cool down, I end up letting it cool down too much, especially at this time of night, especially when I'm crocheting and watching something, and I just get distracted from my tea. I'll admit it. I mean, tea's not bad cold either, so it's not the worst thing. Like a nice lemon tea. Have that in the morning when you first wake up. Yeah. Cold lemon tea. Because most of the teas I get have instructions to turn them into iced teas. See, it's just, I don't know. Using a 5-point, a 5, just to put something together here. I'm getting finicky about that, but I know it's going to stretch out. I'm just being a little nitpicky on myself because I know it's going to be fine. I always stretch them before I start putting them together, and after and all that kind of stuff. I always stretch them out. Cotton's quite stretchy for the most part. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. This color transition to that, I just love it. Love it. If I can get 2.5 out of each ball, I might be able to get 3 out of this one by my estimator. I do have a very similar one in pinks and purples. That might go over well for at least one of the girls. We'll see. We'll see what I decide. I have a few different options. If I even decide to make them one, because both of them already have quite a few hats and stuff. It's me as usual, always putting myself very last on these kind of things. So I go without. Well, they have 2 or 3 hats each. And that's perfectly fine. I want them to be covered and not get burnt, uncomfortable out in the sun. That would not be fun for them. Half double crochet to end it. 1, 2, 3. Two and 3. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be last row. I guess I'll keep you a long time done this one, and we'll just finish this granny skirt. Oh my goodness, what happened here? Oh, I know what happened. Well, I'm gonna have to go back. That's gonna bother me. That will too. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, did that twice now. See, what I did was I did this one and then I added another 3. It should have been just 2. I just went into automatic mode and I don't want to have that. I'm trying really hard to get out of that habit. I do it often with granny squares. And that's not what I'm trying to do. So I need to just take one of these out. See? I want 3. I don't want 4. It feels a lot like it's squishing. Because this chain is supposed to count as 1, right? So why would I suddenly put 4 in when every other cluster is 3? Sometimes I swear. Got excited. Started blabbing about how much yarn I need and how much I have and my ideas of other projects. As usual, wandering. That's okay though. My options could have been to just forget it, but it wouldn't bother me. That's one thing I like about the granny squares is the symmetry. I love how every cluster is supposed to be 3. It's kind of like the corner to corners. I like that about that particular style as well as the 3s. And normally I'm an even number girl. I like everything to be even numbers, not odd numbers, but when it comes to crochet, I'm good with odd ones. I don't mind them. I find them kind of pleasing. Sometimes I don't even understand my own brain. Don't worry about it if you're not following me. It's the artistic part of my brain that just really enjoys patterns. Patterns in the sky, patterns in the ground, patterns in wood, patterns in everything. But you know those pictures from the 90s where you relax your eyes and you see a picture in it and they're all like squiggly, weird looking shapes and stuff? I've never seen a shape in them. But I can make up pictures out of like wood and all sorts of stuff just out of the patterns in them. I don't know. It's weird. Never have ever seen one. Could have dropped ceiling, one of those drop top ceilings, whatever they call them. With all the holes. I can make pictures on those too. Don't make any sense, but I can like, oh, there's a face there, there's a car there, there's that there. But I can't do it with those darn pictures. I say that because the movie Mallrats is having an anniversary or something, and they had that pop up on Facebook. One of those, and I guess it was supposed to be a sailboat, just like in the movie, and I cannot see it. So that character, I believe it was Ethan Suplee, who played the character that stands there looking at this picture, and he just can't see it. Everyone else walks by and can see it, but he cannot see it. He starts freaking out. I love it. I love it. I totally get what he's putting down on that. How do you guys see it? Because I see no sailboat. And these people weren't even trying to just walk up. They're like, hey, a sailboat. What? Go. Coming back around. So that should have fixed that issue. And I will be a little more mindful of the corners. Probably not. Because that's just how I do things. I forget. It just seems to be one of those things where I just kind of don't even notice. And this is our final round. Now, normally when I do granny squares, I usually do a single crochet roll around. I didn't feel like doing it in this yarn. I will probably grab a yellow or a white. Haven't decided. I have a beautiful bright canary yellow. So see, one, did it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got distracted thinking about borders. Granny squares without borders. Two and 3. It's either white, yellow, or even my bright turquoise blue. We'll see. I got a couple other options too. I don't have a lot of cotton right now, but I will probably get some soon. We have people that will find me cotton, so I can make the pretties for everybody. And there we go. Got another little corner with our 2 chains to create that actual corner. And that's looking so good. So I only need 3 more to go after this. And even if I have to use the other colors, the pinks and the purples. I still think it'll be really cute. I'm not going to worry about it being matchy-matchy, even though I'm a matchy-matchy type of girl. Sometimes I really like matchy-matchy. Other times, I like wild. Can't make up my mind what I prefer. That's looking amazing. Let's get you back here. Thank you. Ah. There we go. Here we are. Almost there. Make sure you're 3. Okay. Two and 3. And we're coming around again. Yeah. Simple granny square. And you put the 4 around and 1 on top, and you make the brim. Like I was saying earlier, the brim is where I'm a little wondering. So I'll have to watch a couple tutorials and see at least 2 or 3 different versions to figure out how I want to do it, because this is my own hat. I'm not following anybody else's tutorial on this. Don't ask me why I'm being so crazy about it, but well, no, it's because I would kind of like to understand pattern making a little better. And that's how I learn. These 2 people say to do it like this. I'll meet you guys in the middle. And I'm all about crediting other people's work and their patterns, because I know it's tough work. It's a lot of math. It's a lot of figuring out shapes and formulas. And I think it's crazy amazing, because I never liked math growing up, so here I am doing a hobby that is very math oriented, because you have to divide your stitches, you got to do this, you got to do that to get the right sizing, inches, centimeters, meters. How many skeins do I need to get this much? Right? You'll hear me counting all the time and checking my numbers. Glad that phones have calculators. It does help. And that should be it. We should be the exact same size. Oh, look at us. Look at us. We're beautiful. Okay, so put this in. I can cut this off. Got scissors right beside me. Prepared. There we go. Thanks for joining me here at All the Crackers in the Box. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye.